This is my dog, Hope. And this is the final portrait of her. Watch to see how it happened. I painted this portrait of Hope to enter into Treckle's annual pet portrait contest that they hold for artists. Each year they change the panel configuration, and it's a lot of fun, and you get to see what other artists do with their pets. A little bit of history about Hope. She found us the evening of Father's Day in 2024. That evening it was raining tremendously hard, and I thought that I might have seen her darting through our meadow, and she was quite thin then, and she did look like a stray, but she kind of got out of my viewpoint pretty quickly. I could not track her. But when I took Kodi out on that rainy night on Father's Day, there she was, shivering under my car. My husband had left the garage door open. I'm glad he did. We brought Hope right in, and she's been with us ever since. And ever since then, we have fattened her up, loved her, just like we love our Kodi Bear. The two of them are the best buds. They bonded almost immediately, and they do everything together, including tearing up toys. Hope has a few quirky personality traits, like picking through our office garbage cans and putting stuff under the bed, where she proceeds to shred them to bits. And I do have some videos entitled What's Under the Bed, featuring Hope's work. I'm starting with the background color because I intend to brush fur over it, and it will kind of get a little bit tacky so that it'll be easier to brush the fur over it when it comes time to. I like that. I think I'm going to start with her eyes. We're going to outline them first with black and blue. Now I just want to double check. Okay, I've got the placement right. You saw me just check for angle, so the right eye is a little bit lower than I originally placed, so I'm adjusting it now. The next step is to get the pupil in and a little bit of a suggestion of a shade of the lid. Okay, and now we're going to start with the iris, and we start with it darker than it really is. I like to do a little bit of blending from the pupil out to the iris. I find this technique gives a 3D look to the eye. Now I'm working around the eye, paying attention to her markings. That one eye has more of a marking than the left eye does. Okay, I'm going to darken just a little bit of the pupil once again. I'm putting some of the background color in here. And now with these highlights, her eyes look so realistic. And we move on to the nose. And I'm painting everything darker with the nose. I will add light passages after I get it blocked in. And these spots up here suggest some markings that are around her face. All right, now it's time to get into some bigger horizons. As I mentioned earlier, Hope has this quirky personality where she grabs stuff and puts things under the bed. Well, I have some videos of that entitled What's Under the Bed. And that features Hope gathering things throughout the week and putting them under our bed, and then I just take a flashlight to it and show you what she's done. I still don't know why she needs to gather things up and put them under our bed, but she does. It means something to her. She's a very loving dog, and we're so glad she's with us. We also have another stray dog that we've adopted, and we are just so happy to have these two beautiful souls in our life. I'll put up a picture of Kodi Bear next. And so now I'm continuing with my block in, and I'm trying to go darker, except for where I know she's very light. Soon you'll see how I use my brush to indicate hair. So I basically press down, move the brush, and then lift it up, and it drags small pieces of paint with it, looking like hair. These are little spots that Hope has inside her ear. Are part of her markings and not an infection. I am indicating the bulge of her eye socket here. There is a lot of brush work to bring out the fur, and with this brush work, it's pressing down, then lightening up my grip and dragging the brush. The more pressure you put on a brush, the more pigment that's released from it. So it makes sense that when you're trying to create fur, you would press the pigment in where the edge of the fur would be and then release it and drag it. Notice that I wipe off my brush quite a bit during the painting process. Here I'm dragging pigment out to indicate fur. I will put a collar on her right now, taking some transparent iron oxide, permanent green, and some gold ochre, and some phthalo blue. Let's just get that in. I'm almost ready to say it's done. Just gonna do a couple more hair strokes through here. I'm gonna schmooze that a little bit. Schmooze this a little bit. Actually, this comes down more. Just a little bit more here. here I'm putting in a little bit more gray to represent a shadow rather than her coloring. Some of this blue in there. Is finished. Very strong backlight there. It's a little bit black there. I decided to cut in a little bit more around Hope on the right side to make it just look like head and neck.